Two of my favorite guns that I received, I want to say in 2023. This was a viewer request, basically asking my opinion on the differences between the Stealth Arms Platypus and the Dan Wesson DWX. What do they both have in common? Well, I would say that they are both 1911 hybrid type guns. What makes them hybrid? Well, the Stealth Arms Platypus takes readily available, reliable Glock pattern magazines, Glock 17s. Awesome. Like, who doesn't want a cheap, reliable magazine? Legit, right? Well, the Dan Wesson DWX is also a hybrid in that it's a 1911 style gun, except for it takes CZ, what are these, P09, P10 magazines. A lot of people were hoping it would take CZ 75 mags, but it takes these, which are still, like, this is a very reliable, inexpensive magazine, like $30-ish or whatever. Pretty comparable in price to the magazine. So that's what's cool about these perspective guns. Now, I'm going to be right up front. I'm going to save this till the end, so hopefully you watch it through the whole video of which one I would pick if I had to pick just one. I will say that. In comparison videos, sometimes I don't, just because I let you guys decide, but I will in this one. My name is Dave. Thank you guys very much for spending a few minutes of your day checking out this video, learning about these two really amazing guns. I mean, seriously, you can't go wrong with either one. Love them both. Truly do. My favorite guns of 23-ish was when I got them. That being said, if you want to support the channel, you can check us out on Patreon. We always do appreciate that. Please subscribe if you have not done so already. Like 80% of the people who watch this are probably going to be unsubscribed. And if you want to learn more about this, you can hop on our podcast at the end of the month. We do that live, answer your questions. You can email, all that cool stuff. Great. Thank you. Also, huge thanks to our supporters as well. That being said, how I got both of these guns is they were both media samples, and I do like them, so I still have them. Probably should get around to either figuring all that, but I did get both of these provided, so neither company sponsors me, neither company is sending me money, and neither company knows that I'm even making this video. So you're going to hear everything of what I want to say. Right off the bat, what do they have in common is they are both 5-inch 1911 style guns, meaning that they have a traditional 1911 hammer, a safety, and a trigger that truly presses straight back and to the rear. Same thing on the Dan Wesson, except for it does not have a grip safety, but it does have a traditional 1911 safety on both sides of the gun, and then obviously it does have a trigger that presses straight back to the rear. So that's what they have in common. Disconnectors, stuff like that, very typical with 1911 type guns. Where they differ is that the Dan Wesson is kind of a modular gun. It actually has kind of like a fire control module that is the gun that separates out and drops into this grip frame with panels. So it's kind of like 1911-like because it's a frame with grip panels. And we have that modular unit. I'm showing you some footage now of the teardown of the Dan Wesson DWX, and it's an incredibly innovative design. A lot going on, really cool. It's a bull barrel. I've had really good luck with accuracy shooting the gun. It shoots really soft for a 5-inch gun, but what's cool is because of that module, potentially down the road we might see aftermarket, grip frames and stuff like that. As of right now, when I'm making this, beginning of 25 is when you'll probably see this video. There's not a ton of aftermarket support for the DWX, like maybe they were hoping. And I mean, let's be honest. One of the biggest gripes I had was optic ready. I had to send this gun out to get milled. So Dan Wesson kind of missed the boat on that when they launched this late, and obviously they ran into some issues with COVID and all that, but now it is optics ready, which was, in my opinion, one of the big things holding it back. Like, there's no reason not to have an optic gun, right? Now, we look at the Platypus real quick. What's really cool is that this is also a 1911 one-piece grip and frame. There's no panels, it's all aluminum. I'd love to see a steel version. The new version that they have has their prickle texture, so it's super aggressive and it fits really good in the hand. This is their traditional, and as you can see, with some use, because it's aluminum, and this is not a gun that gets babied, guys. I use this in classes, I use it for demos, I train with it. The aluminum is starting to show a little bit of signs of wear there, which it will happen, but it's a one-piece aluminum frame, and then what's cool again is that it takes Glock magazines, so they both are hybrid guns, but this one is probably more 1911-like because it's, a little bit more 1911 under the hood as far as barrels and all sorts of other parts and stuff too. This particular one is a bushing gun, however the new ones are also available with a bull barrel, and yeah, that's kind of a short overview on them. So I've kind of figured out, like, okay, how do we how do we help you decide which one you get? The easy answer is if you have a bunch of CZ magazines, you buy the Dan Wesson. If you have a bunch of Glock magazines, you buy the Platypus, right? Easy peasy. Now, as far as pricing goes, they're actually both pretty comparable. Like you can build a Platypus, you know, under two G's, and the Dan Wesson DWX optics ready guns are, man, I don't even know. I don't even see a pricing. I think they're a little above. Yeah, they're like the low 2Gs, okay? It's the low 2Gs, and they come with red grips and triggers, which I had to get rid of right away because obviously neon green's way better. But so pricing, you're probably going to be a little bit ahead on the Platypus. Availability, you'll wait for the Platypus. If you get a custom one, you can find these in stock. So again, that might play into it. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh, ergonomics, shootability, accuracy, and then overall like unique features to each particular platform are going to kind of be the three main chunks of this video. So first things first, let's talk about ergonomics. A lot of people are going to say that the DWX has CZ ergonomics, and don't get me wrong, you can put CZ grip panels on here. However, fun fact, even though it takes CZ grip panels, it takes 1911 grip screws, which why? Like those are hard to find screws. You have to get them from a grip shop, gun shop. Like just put something normal on there. Use CZ screws. Heck, use a metric screw. Like whatever. Okay, rant over. Ergonomics are very good. CZ ergonomics are really good. It has these nice curves that does fit the hand really nice. I put some lock, I don't know how to pronounce it, grip panels on here, so it has a nice aggressive grip texture. Ambi controls are easy to manipulate with both. Mag release is nice and pronounced. So again, ergonomics of the gun and handling, really good. The gun shoots really nice. So I can't really fault the gun ergonomically. It does fit really good in the hand. Kind of wish it would have a grip safety, but that's just the traditionalist in me talking. But front serrations are very simple, very utilitarian, matching with the rear serrations. And like I said, I had to get this one optic cut. The new ones use their plate system. It does have an external extractor. We'll kind of get into the performance here in a little bit. But ergonomics, right off the bat, I would give this great. Compare that to the Platypus. 1911 grip angle. The new prickle textures are nice and sharp and they lock in the hand really nicely. This one feels really good as well. Now it is 1911 grip angle, but it's a little bit shorter because Glock mags are shorter than traditional 2011 magazines. So the grip between this and the mag well is maybe a little shorter, and it is a little bit more rectangular. It doesn't have quite that kind of curve at the back. That being said, ergonomically for me, I like 1911 and 2011 guns. This is a super comfortable gun for me. I really like it. So I am going to rate ergonomics the same, but you might not. You might find one more comfortable than the other. But for me, this is still a very comfortable gun. And I know that kind of sounds like a cop-out, like, oh, you're not picking one? I'll pick one at the end. Don't you worry, dudes. But front serrations, again, utilitarian. This one has the ports. You can get them without ports. Rear serrations to match. Their optic cut is great. Now, they do offer direct milling, so you are stuck with like whatever platform you pick. They don't use a plate system, so you pick which optic and then go from there. And how they attach their rear sight is really cool, too. I have more. On the old channel, I did a Platypus video. I'm going to do a new Platypus video on this channel when I get the new bull barrel gun. But ergonomics, again, I also give this a grade. So for me, they're kind of a tie. I can pick both up and say that they're both very comfortably. If I was really forced to it, maybe the DWX feels a hair better. Okay, you got me. All right, let's talk about performance and shootability. They both shoot really smooth. They're 5-inch guns. This is a big, heavy, chonky monster since it's steel versus an aluminum frame. So recoil impulse is maybe a hair better on the DWX. However, it's no slouch on the Platypus. And I would have to go back and forth shooting them right back and forth to really like say, oh, I'm gonna crown a winner. But I will say the bull barrel steel frame on this particular sample of the DWX versus my bushing barrel aluminum frame Platypus, recoil is slightly softer on the DWX. Okay, so there's that. However, no slouch at all. Like I'm talking, if this is a score of a 92, this is like a 90. Okay, they are that close. But as far as accuracy goes, This Platypus is a freaking laser beam. I don't know what they did to this thing, but this is still one of the most accurate pistols I own, period, of any price point. I shot the best 5-shot group, 6-shot group, whatever it was, at 25 yards at a class. I'll roll that footage in. I'm shooting and it's 25 yards, not feet, 25 yards. I walk up and I see 5 of the rounds almost touching with one flyer, which was likely me, but even if it wasn't, this thing is, like I said, by far one of the, if not the most accurate pistol I have. So love the accuracy of this gun. That is great. So as far as shootability, performance goes, accuracy, I'm going to give a nod to the Platypus. But as far as recoil, maybe the DWX is a little softer, but they both shoot absolutely amazing. Rapid fire drills, whatever, easily accomplished with both. As far as shooting the guns with accuracy and everything else, I get all of our ammo from Global. I can't thank them enough for their support. So if you guys are looking for ammunition as well, whether you're looking for training ammo, match ammo, whatever it might be, check out our friends over at Global. You can head on over to our website to learn more, but Global Ordnance is an amazing supporter. I can't thank them enough. And also keep your guns running. You need to use a good quality lubricant like Slip 2000, and you can use their cleaning products to clean your guns, which, dudes, let's be honest, cleaning is overrated. Nobody likes to clean, so I just add more lube and shoot. But if you like to clean, then you can use their cleaning products because they work great. Carbon Killer works awesome. Their 725 is awesome, and their lubrication, EWL, is also awesome, and it's what I use. So I have a code for these. If you guys use the code for Slip 2000, you get 20% off, which is super awesome for you guys to get the best cleaning and lubrication products. These are the supporters of the channel. Can't thank them enough. Now, as far as the triggers go, they both are 1911 triggers, meaning they have that awesome straight back trigger press. However, the trigger right out of the box is better on the Platypus. You can see that we have a little bit of take up, and then we hit that wall, and then it breaks very nice and crisp. I mean, for a 1911 production gun, that's a great trigger. Yeah, really, really a great trigger. Now, as far as up and down slop and things like that, it's pretty minimal. So the trigger is fit really well. Like, yeah, there's very little up and down, left and right slop. Now, compare that to the DWX. And this is an aftermarket or a replacement. It came with the red trigger, but I fit this to basically be the same dimensions as the factory trigger, and the factory trigger was about the same. So we have more take up. Good crisp break though, so the break is really nice, but we do have more take up, but we have all of this up and down, left, right. So as far as like how the trigger sits in the gun, the fit and finish isn't quite as nice on here, but this is a production gun, and it was a little limited because we have that fire control group that I think will also add a little bit of tolerance in there as well. So that's something to keep in mind. Both have great triggers. They both break right around 3.5. I know YouTube doesn't like that, but about 3.5-ish poundish for both of them, and they're both very nice. Now, as far as controls go, they both have ambi controls that is decent size. So depending on how you like to manipulate, you know, your gun, ambi controls on both is a pretty good profile and a pretty good size. There we go. Pretty good size on both as far as your left and right side. Easy to manipulate with the thumb, or if you were wrong-handed, easy to manipulate there. Compare that to the Platypus. And the Platypus has slightly smaller safety paddles, but they are still protruding nicely. They are easy to manipulate, nice and crisp. They both are pretty good there. Slide stops are pretty similar. This one's a little bit longer on the DWX. As far as manipulating the safeties go, the DWX is a little mushier compared to this Platypus. And again, sample size of 1 on each. But as far as manipulating the safety, this one is a little crisper with that. So that's kind of controls ergonomics. As far as fit, function, and feel, we'll say the Platypus does feel a little bit better. There's a little bit of frame because of that modular frame in there that actually is the frame rails. It's not actually, that module is what is riding on the slide. So there's a little bit of that play in there. So you do have a little bit of play that you can feel with the DWX. The Platypus has a little bit, but not nearly as much because we have frame rails locking in or riding on those slide rails. So the fit finish feel of just manipulating the slide, the barrel fit, the Platypus does feel a little bit better. Just again, sample size of 1. So we talked about ergonomics, we talked about shootability, and other features that are particular to the platform is kind of our last category. What's cool with the DWX is that it comes in red. I really don't like red, I'm sorry, but it comes in red. Whatever reason they wanted to get red, like anodized red base pads, grip, and a trigger, I just don't like that, but whatever, that's what they came with. Nothing against Dan Wesson here if you're watching. What I do like though is that you can get aftermarket CZ75 grips, so you can make it whatever color you want like I did. They do sell triggers, they do sell base pads, Henning sells base pads, plus you can get you know, these CZ extended base pads and guns as well, so like 20 rounds, no big deal. The Platypus is arguably the most customizable finish gun on the whole existence of the world. Their website is literally the best as far as every little detail of color you can do on their builder. Like you can make this purple, you can make this orange, you can make whatever. It is super legit awesome. Plus you can pick your finish on small parts and stuff too. So as far as customability goes, there's no doubt the Platypus wins. You can get it exactly every which way you want it done right off the bat. So that is pretty awesome. Plus, it's compatible with Glock magazines, which are cheap and easy to get, versus CZ magazines, which are reliable, also inexpensive, but not quite as easy to get. Virtually every gun shop or big box store is going to have Glock magazines. Not everyone is going to have a P09 or a P10 magazine. But if you've made it this far to the very, very end, I really do appreciate it. If I had to pick just which one, what would it be? Number one, I would truly have zero regrets buying either one. I really enjoy shooting both of these guns. I love shooting the Platypus. I love shooting the DWX. They are both nice guns. But if it really came down to me having to pick just one gun, obviously you pick what's best for you. I would pick the Platypus. Here's why. I like the ergonomics of it. This thing is a freaking laser beam, most accurate gun I probably own. Glock magazines are plentiful, easy to find. Customer service from these guys is absolutely amazing. Right now, CZ and Colt and all that, they're kind of going through some issues, right? It's not as easy to get service, whereas if you call Stealth, they're a small, family-owned company. You call them, they work with you. There's even an internet story about the owner flying his plane out to help fix a guy's gun. That's actually true. I fact-checked it. Snopes. True. So customer service from Stealth is super awesome. I like the people there. I like that I can actually reach out, connect. Dan Wesson, CZ, Colt, all that stuff is kind of having some changes. My contact over at Dan Wesson CZ is no longer there. So I just don't have as much of a relationship, right? So does that play a part into it? Yeah, people matter. But the Stealth Platypus is what I would get. This thing is legit, and their bull barrel prickle texture, which is my next dream Platypus, I can't wait to get that thing, is even a better evolution of the platform. So I just really like what they have going on. I like their optic cuts. I like how it works really well with Glock magazines. The fit finish is really good. Like they even have a Marvel disconnector cut. Seriously, super awesome. Thank you guys. I appreciate you watching. Hopefully this answered some of your questions. This was a viewer request. If you have any requests for channel ideas, video ideas, whatever, email us, qa@learningfirearms.com. The other cool part is that you can also email your questions, and those are the questions that we answer on our end of the month podcast. We also do a live stream for that podcast, so we do it live. We answer comments, we give away some stuff, and we also answer those email questions. So qa@learningfirearms.com. Dudes, my real job is I train people. If you want to have me come out to your range, your agency, your location, you can learn more about the training classes. I travel all around the country doing classes. You can check out the website for more info. That's learningfirearms.com. I would love to come to you. If you host a class, you can get some free training, so there's my shameless plug for that. And also check out the website, go to the gear page, you can get codes and deals and all that kind of stuff and see what my favorite gear is. Thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great day.